half hour, but how many do you want? How many? All this. All this. Yeah, come and sell. No, it's slow for the first second. Cancel it and enter again. That is a key. What's the power? Key. It's a key. Seems a key. Okay, now. Alright, good day everyone. In the last class, we started with food substances, and it's a very interesting topic which actually applies to everyone, irrespective of what field you are, whether you are a commercial student, science student. You actually find that there are a lot of things to learn when it comes to food. And we often ask questions on it on JAM, in any exams. We ask questions on it. Because food is important to life. It's part of one of the characteristics of the nutrition part. So when I explain what food is to you and the purpose of food in the last class, well, what do I call the purpose of food? Why do we eat food? Why do we eat food? Can anyone tell me? Why do we eat food? It's really to get there is a major thing to yield good and development. So I also make mention of the fact that you don't have to put food in your mouth before you eat food. No? And I easy to you are shaking your head. You don't have to put food in your mouth. Where can you put food? You don't see.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Said injection.
You can use the IV, intravenous cannula. Because intravenous, you can use intravenous to supply food to you. If somebody is undergoing starvation, what is starvation? Starvation. How long can you stay without food? Let me ask you that question.
1 hour.
1 hour. So every 1 hour now you'll be young.
Yeah, obviously.
How long can you stay without food? How long can you stay without food? Some people cannot do without food for 1 hour. Some people can stay a whole 24 hours without food. Some people can stay 2 days. How long have you gone without food in your life? You have been on earth. I've been, to me, I've gone 3 days without food.
Dry fast.
Yes. And the experience was not nice at all. It looks you talking looks as if it's very hard. It's because even talk connect with raw energy from you that every part of your body consumes more energy. So constant supply of energy comes from that through the world. As you are using this pen to scratch the egg, they are burning energy. As you are moving your mouth, you are talking, you are burning energy. You are blinking your eyes, you are sitting up is via burning of energy. Then apart from burning of energy, you build one out of tissues. Do you get? So how long is it recommended that someone can stay without food? How long is it actually documented? According to science, someone can stay without food for 72 days. But there is a form of a little bit of inconsistency because of that. On average, that's 72 days. But how long you stay without food is determined by how old you are, your age, whether you're an adult, and the amount of the body fat you have. Because what happens to the body when there is no food? When there is no food, first thing is that when you feel you are hungry, it means that there is not enough glucose in your liver anymore. No? Your liver is running out of glucose because it's the liver that supplies the blood with glucose every now and then. So if you now stay without not supplying new food, your body tells you that the glucose inside was not finished, you go and eat and down so you can digest some time. If you now ignore that signal, at some point the signal will not come again. Are you going to the state of whereby you are hungry but you can't feel the sensation again? Is it? Yeah, it's possible. If you ignore the sensation for some time, that's what we call doing fasting. Then you'll not be carried away by other activities. So now, at that point, your body now say, oh, this area is ignoring the signal. Let's go for generation of glucose. They call it gluconeogenesis. So, in gluconeogenesis, your body now shifts towards converting the fat in the body into glucose. So, in this process, you're going to be burning down the fat. That will be called fat burning. Whereby fat are used to make what? Glucose. You know, fat are also now. They also contain carbohydrates and oxygen. So they will be used to make. So that's why you say that I want to burn fat. I want to burn fat. What do you do when you want to burn fat? You what? You starve yourself. And you eat something that does not even contain what? Fat. And you eat less of carbohydrates. This is why you are eating less of carbohydrates, because you are only giving your body little energy. So that when it requires, so that the remaining energy can be consumed from your fat or tissue. That's what they call fat burn in gluconeogenesis. You will generate glucose from the source. So if your body has actually now consumed all the fat, where is fat stored in the body? For the male, our fat is like close to on the muscles. But most female has fat layered under their skin. That's what really makes female body to be much more softer than the male body. But our own fat are like embedded in between the muscles. So we have more muscles, but fat are now embedded in underlying. So that is often the reason why the male body is much more and not like as soft as the female. So, then secondly, fat is stored in the breast and the buttocks. So I didn't even see that the size of the breast is determined by the amount of fat inside. Yes, someone that has big buttocks has more fat than someone that has small buttocks. But how firm it is will be determined by the muscle and the fat. So likewise the breast. If a person's breast will contain fat and it can contain tissues. So if the fat is extreme, the breast will sag compared to the tissue and the fat will be balanced for the breast to still be in shape. But as you age, once your hormone is changing, you'll be having less tissue and more fat. That's why you see old people's breast is always sagging, it's always flat, the flaccid breast, because at that point they have less tissue and extreme fat. But at young age, we are still expected to have, but some people have some genetic condition whereby they are born with breasts that have more fat than. So naturally, as when they are still at their normal age, they have flat breasts. So when I was still young, when I've not become a scientist, they lie to us. They will say anybody that has flat breasts, I've been doing rubbish. It's a lie. You can have flat breasts as a type of breast. You can check it online. There are 9 types of breasts. Yeah, let's check it another day. Okay. And let's check it another day. So don't let people give you rumor. Learn things are based on scientific facts. You can be born with a flat breast. You can have a flat by genetics. Right? So, in gluconeogenesis, your body has already used all the fats. So when the fat has been consumed, what else will the body move to? Your body can, if you don't eat after the fat has been consumed, your body can start breaking down your own tissue to supply nutrients to vital organs. What are the vital organs? The brain and the what? And the heart. So the brain needs energy constantly, every time, because you won't control every part of the body. The heart must be beating. So these are the two major vital organs. So if your heart and your brain did not get energy, like every minute, and it shut down, it will affect the whole of the body. So that's why if the body notices that there is no energy coming in, it will try to start breaking down that tissue at that point to give them what? To give the brain and the heart nutrients. And they call that process catabolism. It depends on catabolism. Catabolism is the process whereby the body breaks down its own tissue for the survival of other tissue, getting nutrients from those tissues. So this thing of observing somebody that during those world war, all the civil war, when there is no food, when they see people dying that are on the ground, they cannot stand up because they are not eating for long. You notice that those kind of people, their brain will still be functioning, their heart will still be beating. Why? Because their body, but they will not be able to move their legs and their hands because their body has broken down all the muscle, everything there to supply nutrients to the heart and the brain. You now see that all the hands will be very, very thin and they'll be like this on the floor. You can check it online. People that died a lot of starvation. You see their appearance, you see that their hands will become thin first and their legs. So it's not that they will not be able to move, but they will still be alive. So until all the nutrients has been drained out of all this other tissue, that is when the brain can now shut down. And the heart will shut down. You have a question? I've answered it.
No, I wanted to ask for the definition of catabolism for breakthrough.
Yeah. So catabolism is not the same as catabolism. So don't compare. So it's depending like what is breaking down the tissue. So if somebody is to be revived during the starvation process, what will you give the person? Someone that has not eaten for like 32 days or 40 something, let's say like 50 something days. What will you give the person when you see the person?
Maybe water or food.
You give the person. You can give the person water, yes, but you cannot give the person food.
Right.
It cannot pass through their mouth. The intestine will have not, will have undergo what they call collapse, like they will have fallen. They will have shrink together. They will degenerate also. Everything will have been tied together because there is no food coming in. What keeps them open and like day to day will not have nutrients? Because all the intestines they also need nutrients. Is it possible for you to eat that? That is how the body is. The intestines that actually present they also need nutrients. So the food they are not getting, they are shrinking, they are not doing their function, that will increase in size. So what they do when you see someone that is dying of hunger and they are still for 2 days, you don't go and give the person food. And say, open your mouth. The food can even kill the person. If you look at it, they are throwing heavy metal inside the person intestine. So what you do in those cases is to what? Is to first give the person liquid-based nutrients. Probably the one that has been digested. So through an IV. You can start by putting you put amino acid, you put glucose into a solution, and you put other vitamins, you now pass it through IV into the person's bloodstream. So after some days, you now start giving the person with liquid-based food, like fruits, pap, peanut butter. Start giving the person peanut butter. Peanut butter has protein. You know that has a lot of protein. Peanut butter has a lot of protein. So you give the person peanut butter, while the person now recover little by little. The intestine will start building up. Start giving the person like all this building more, all this one and much more thicker. Before the person can get back to eating rice and back to what? Full recovery now, that's when you can eat what? Your apple and what other thing and eba. It's the only one that can eat this kind of food because they require more energy for digestion. Have you wondered why you sleep when you eat eba? It's because your body needs energy to digest the food. Because those kind of food they are very hard to digest. So that's the reason why someone that eats eba to class will sleep. Because your body will say that this thing is too heavy for me to break down. We need to reduce the energy I need to walk up and down. Let's supply to the stomach and intestine. That's why when you eat this kind of food in the morning, you can be sleeping when you're at work. So that's why light food will keep you more active. Taking that's why you see white people take bread and what? Tea. Or she can eat just rice. Not gonna eat. Good. If you eat bread and beans, you might like it. Your bread is here. So that is about starvation and that is about food. So everybody has different lengths of this based on how the amount of body fat, their age. So on average, they say without food 70 days, but without water would have been worse. So without food does not mean you can take water if they say without food. That's the thing. So without water, it will be very, very short. I don't think it should be more than like close to like 14, more than 14 days for water. So water is very, very needed. Alright, so I gave an assignment. I'm gonna have done it. Okay, let us just check one person. What assignment?
The question was what is fat and oil? And differentiate between fat
Oil. Okay, what is
Okay, for number one, fat and oils are food substances that contain carbon, hydrogen, and lead to oxygen.
in fact, there are people that contain carbon, hydrogen, and little oxygen. Yes.
Yeah, for number
That's
two,
that of the we define it and do you write there? You follow my question. Definition, what do I call it?
the function, it maintains the temperature of the body.
Uh-huh.
The example, butter.
But
Groundnut
that's
oil. Then
yes.
for number two,
That's a very good one.
what is the difference between fat and oil? Fat are solid liquids, while oil are liquid.
So what I do when I do assignment, I will not give you from that part. I will just analyze it. I won't give you again. So I believe that I will just explain it. So that's the fat is what? Solid, oil is what? Liquid. So that is a good one. So for fat is usually what? Fat and oil. This is generally for fat and oil. What is generally for fat and oil? We don't want to say fat and what? Oil. Both of them are generally called what? Lipids. They are generally called lipids. So lipids is generally made for fat and, but I don't want to say fat or oil. But fat is solid, right?
Yes.
You want to do it? Oil is what? Liquid.
Another one.
Yes, thank you.
Fat is saturated.
Fat is saturated. That's okay. Saturated, I think. Like,
While oil is unsaturated.
oil is unsaturated, yes.
Yes.
Saturated means you can still find, you cannot find space within the molecule again. Then there's one thing that you need to put in the explanation. Fat is from animal. From what? Why oil is from what?
Plant-based.
Oil is from plant. So oil, all the oil we have in this life, they are always from plants. Why fat are always from animal? Fat is solid, oil is liquid. So have you ever seen anybody that say groundnut fat? Why can't we say groundnut fat?
Because groundnut is an oil.
Groundnut is a plant. So the thing that can come out of the what? A plant is what? Oil. You can never see fat from it. Or have you ever seen anybody that say lion oil? Maybe that is a brand. But lion can have fat. You can have lion fat. There's things that you said, you have to go up and down. You see, come and buy a lion milk. Now it's fat from the intestine of what? So that fat, butter. So what's the butter? Look at that, what's butter?
So actually you said animal oil does not have animal, you have to see.
Oil is from
You said oil is not from animal.
oil is not from animal.
Yeah, but you have fish oil.
Fish oil. Then it's the person that made the brand that name is Gary.
No,
It's not
there's
that.
one medicine, basically fish oil.
There is a name of the medicine, not the oil is not an animal does not have animal really has what? Fat. It's the name of the medicine.
No, wait, sorry. Can't not get oil from fat.
From
Fat.
that's what I'm trying to ask you now. Can we make oil into fat? So that's how they make the butter oil. You know butter? Butter was made from oil. But butter is a what? Is a fat.
Okay, it's actually fat, and I think it may not be fat acid. So it's from fat, not oil.
Are you with me? So this, you said that I want to answer the question. You said, how can we make fat to oil? So it's the part of chemistry. So when you have oil and you bubble hydrogen into it, you bubble what? You bubble what?
Hydrogen.
In the brain of the catalyst called nickel. So oil plus hydrogen. The rest of what? Nickel catalyst. You have what? You what? A fat. So example of that fat is the butter and what? Butter and what? Or margarine. Or margarine. I think margarine is the one they have some other nutrients. But butter and margarine, yeah. So these are what they call artificial fats. Yeah, because they were made in the laboratory free. But normal fat is found in the human body. So what you are able to eat bread is like artificial fat. So you can see that butter is always in solid form. So one thing about it is that fat can become liquids, but it's a temporary condition. Fat can become liquid, but it's a what? Temporary condition. Fat, the fat will just what? When you eat fat up, it melts. But when you leave it, it what? Cools back to what? So it. But oil always remains liquid for forever. Except when you freeze it, and the freezing will take a lot of time. But naturally, when you eat up fat, it becomes liquid. So that's about fat and oil. So fat and oil are also what? Energy giving food. If they have to work as another function. So you mentioned the function that they also what? They provide what? Body what? They give body heat. How do you use fat to generate body heat? Who can tell me? How do you use fat to generate body heat? Do you know that fat people have more heat in their body than people that are what? Skinny? No? So when I was in the laboratory, when I was in the university, there was this particular time we have to warm up our what we are working on, our samples with hands. So the doctor that was training us said, oh, let us do for the fat people in the lab. He said we should give it to them and they should be the one to use their hand to warm it up that they can. So why? It's because when you have fat under your skin, it reduces the amount of heat coming out of your body. And that's what animal use. That is the strategy animal use in the Arctic region, in the other Antarctica. Those animals that stay there, they wish to keep fat under their skin. So even though everywhere is cold, the body will have a lot of warmth contained in them. So they call that kind of fat under the skin, they call it a blubber. Blubber is the fat found under the skin of our animal that keeps them warm. So, second function of fat is to produce energy. And fat and oil can produce more energy than carbohydrates. But why are we not eating only fat and oil? Let me answer that question. If fat and oil can produce more energy than carbohydrates, why are we not eating just fat and oil instead of eating carbohydrates? Why are we not eating fat and oil instead of eating carbohydrates?
When it's excess, it's dangerous.
Come on. It's not the you have not the point. Another person. Okay. Cooking food and buying food. Which one do you prefer? You want the which one? Online. Cooking. What about you? Buying food. Oh yeah, you tell us why you like buying. Just like
if I cook by myself, I'm not exactly.
what do you actually prefer to buy food in most cases? Or like the one major reason.
I don't prefer buying food because if I cook it, I will not eat it.
So to me now, why do some people prefer to buy food now?
Because it's faster than you buy.
It's faster and what? It saves what your energy. If you have been working, you have a lot to do. Just, when you buy the food, you are not the one that puts it on fire. You are not the one that goes to the market. You are not the one that monitors whether it is done. Or you are not the one that determines the taste. You only need to pay money and what it. But what's the difference? You pay more than you should have gotten when you do it yourself. So people that cook, they have more abundance of if than people that buy. But the buying sometimes is very effective for some people. And that's what even makes them to have more money, to be more richer. Because they have a lot of time to do other work they want to do. So in the body, using carbohydrates is like buying food. Using fat and oil is like cooking food. In cooking food, some of the energy in your body you will have used to prepare the food before you now use the food. But in buying food, as I have now, I can eat plantain, spaghetti and chicken. within how many minutes. But let me say I'm only going to put it, I will spend like 4 hours of my time. So fat and oil, it takes longer time in the body to process and more energy is used up in processing fat and oil. But it will give you energy in return that will be larger. But most of the time, the body needs to do activities that are in short period of time. So carbohydrate does not need any processing. Instantly, you can get it and use it. But fat and oil, you have to go through the various process to process into energy. But the energy you get from fat and oil is always larger than that of carbohydrate. So that is the answer to the question. You can ask me on the theory exam. Okay, I hear you.
Question.
Okay, I should ask the question again. Or I was asking that why does the body prefer to use glucose, carbohydrates as primary energy source instead of what? Fat and oil.
Prefer to use
Carbohydrates as primary energy source. So they can ask that what's the primary energy source of the body? The answer is what? Carbohydrates. But what's the secondary energy source? The answer is fat and oil. Secondary energy source is what? Fat and oil. So let's move to the next part, next section, which is vitamins. So what are vitamins? I think I was handling on these also. So vitamins are food substances that are usually organic compounds, compounds that are required in small amounts found for healthy growth and development. Healthy growth and development. There are some substances that are required in small amount for healthy growth and development. So what does it mean? What does that mean? There are some substances that are required, usually the substances that are required in small amount for healthy growth and development. So there are some small things that if you don't have it in your body and you are able to eat, or you are eating, you are looking, the body will be looking fresh, but you know you be having some changes in your body, like reaction, or you cannot be having something looking weird coming out of the skin, those kind of things.
So what does that mean?
That one.
I don't know.
That one. A message. That is not saying.
question.
Like,
Your online student.
You asked me a question.
Don't worry.
So, what I was saying is that so these things, if you don't have them in your body, your body starts showing up some symptoms. So what are those things? They are like organic compounds, like they are natural compounds that are found in foods. So for this compound I hope that can be discovered in the they now classify them as what they call vitamins. So they now classify them, so there are two classes they put them into. We have what we call the so let's call the classes of vitamins. Classes of vitamins. So we have what we call the first one is called the fat soluble. Fat soluble vitamins. Yeah, fat soluble vitamins. And the water soluble. So what does the word fat soluble mean? Fat soluble means what? The word fat soluble means what? They can dissolve in fat. Why the one of what? Water soluble means what? They dissolve in what? Water. So, example of fat soluble vitamins. We have vitamin A, D, E, and what? And K. That's my name. That's my vitamin. They are what? Fat soluble. Water soluble is vitamin B. And vitamin B complex. B complex and vitamin what? B complex and what? And C. They are the water soluble. Vitamin B complex and C are the water soluble. Now we'll now look at them one after the other. So in these three headings, some of them have not filled it up. You go and finish an assignment, you go and make the research and complete. So the headings is going to be vitamins. We'll look at the fat soluble first. How many of you know this cowbell advert? Cowbell, our new cowbell advert. All of you are 2000 children. They are going 2000s. Then they are not my children. You can't just remember something now. That the cowbell, our new, is contained vitamin A, D, E, and K. Do you know the reason why these vitamins are found in milk? Because milk has a fat base. You know, milk usually has fat. So these fats can dissolve those vitamins and make them not obvious when they are in the water. So everything will just so milk has water and has what? Fat. So if they remove the fat in the milk, what do they call that milk? Let me just you call it what? A skin milk is the one that removes all the they have removed all the fat. The skin.
Which one is not dairy and not dairy?
Dairy. I don't know. Maybe I believe it's the one that comes from yes. Dairy should be from cow. There's no milk they can synthesize in that milk. They can produce milk. No, they can produce by chemical means. All the ones that use for baking. They are milk together. They are not dairy milk. So that's the reason why they even to sell them. If you go to shop now, this cream something to sell all these shop for tea. No, you put it on, not that look like milk.
It's milk to us now.
I used to eat.
These are things
Like
it's a synthesized milk, like they make it from chemical reaction. So they even like to know that this is not a dairy product. Check the line and you see that it's not a dairy. So the dairy ones are the ones that come from the cow. So if you remove the fat in the milk will not get this. I don't know if you like to look at it and drinking white soda. But fat is what makes milk very tasty. So most milk that tastes very, very nice, they have more fat. Example, Hollandia milk, pig milk. Or any milk, they write full what? Full cream. That the full cream means that's enough of fat. If you drink that kind of milk, you just be getting fat. Your skull will be getting big. If you want your skull to be big, you drink full cream. So we have vitamins. So we are looking at the fat soluble first. So we will talk about the first thing is the milk. talk about the function. Then we talk about the what? The efficiency. And we talk about the source. So anyone that I did not feel up, you go and finish up. Actually, you go and make your research. So let's start. Vitamin A. Vitamin A is an organic compound called retinol. Retinol.
Maybe it's good for the skin.
Now I'm coming there. There are a lot of misconceptions. Vitamin A is good for sight, eyesight. So what is the deficiency? What does it? So is it? I'll tell you the function. Let me look at it.
So
If somebody does not have vitamin A,
excuse me, sir. When you increase your Android, so put online.
so it's not like it. I can make it bigger. May I just take out one point? So we have okay. Vitamin A is for this is like for sight. So and the deficiency is called night blindness. So where can we find vitamin A? Onion, carrot, vegetables. So let me ask you. I will explain before one after the other. So vitamin A is found in the retinol. Do you know that there is a particular part of the eye they call retina? So that retina has a compound in the called retinol. It's a long name. Retinol something 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not like my course. Because my own course, we study what's occurring down, deep part of biology. Chemistry level, biology and chemistry level. So that compound is what helps you to detect between bright light and a dark brightness and darkness. So if that compound is not abundant in the eyes, you will not be able to see when something is very bright and when it is very dark. So the ability to identify between different shades of darkness or brightness is what it is. It's a lot of retinol compound. So how can we get enough retinol in our eyes? By eating it from the food we eat. We can get retinol from onions, we can get from carrots and vegetable. So if somebody lacks retinol, if somebody lacks retinol, what will happen to that person? You will have a retinol cover. So let me now ask you a question. Do you have a question for you? So why somebody said that if you are in the kitchen and you are cutting onions with a knife, and it's entering your eyes, it's good for the eyes. True or false?
It has a chemical that makes the eye tear. Although I read it somewhere.
So when you cut onions, and when I was young till when I grew up, I became a scientist. My uncle used to say, as you are cutting it is good for your eyes, making you to cry. It's clearing and washing your eyes. This is a big lie. It's burning your eyes. The onion under the onion root has a sulfur. It's a releasing sulfur compound. So the sulfur will dissolve in the water on your cornea to form acid. So it's that acid that's making your eyes. Your eyes now trying to fight the acid by releasing more tears to clear off the acid. So that's why you cry when you are cutting onion. Someone now say that is why as you are cutting the onion has vitamin A, so it's entering your eyes. What do I call this kind of person? Say scientific. Say that they are scientific. Science with Congo. But a scientist knows that onion is not what? Is not as vitamin A. And the only way you can get that vitamin A is by cooking the onion and eating it. It's not even by eating it raw. Because eating it raw, you can't get enough nutrients out of anything you eat raw like that. You know you are boiling and the nutrient is released. You now start taking in the nutrient. And it's not parboiled. You parboil it and you put it in your body boils out nutrient. You fry it will cause you to evaporate. But most of the thing you boil it, and you eat, you can capture more of the nutrients. So likewise, buying carrots in the market and eating like a rabbit does not give you vitamin A inside. The best way to get the nutrients from the carrot is to cook the carrot. Okay.
What about like, they say carrots is also good for the skin?
Yes, that contains what they call beta carotene. The beta carotene cannot come into your body except you have boiled the carrot and what? Eat.
So eating it good.
It's waste of time. You are wasting you are just turning yourself to rabbits. You are international rabbits. So to actually get the nutrient from what? So other systems as well. Some rice too has vitamin A. Why some does not have? So some of those guys that look extremely white, I think they have boiled it. They have not boiled rice in the market. You see that they're really looking at it, they have boiled the rice. That kind of rice is not. But those ones that has the golden color. You know those guys that has golden color. They are the rice that they contain vitamin A. These are the rice that has the genetically good rice. They have a gene that produces vitamin A in it. So please tell them that anyone is saying that onions is good for you. I tell them that it's by boiling and not eating the onion. Some of you that they put onion in your food, you now use your hand and pick it out. I eat onions. You don't like vitamin A. So answer your question. Why is carrot good for the skin? This compound is one of the things that makes our skin, that makes your skin to become light and fresh. You never know the cream they call carrot white. That cream is contains large amount of this compound, artificial one. So, and if you rub large amount of that thing on your skin, it can help in bleaching and removing the melanin layer. So that's why that cream can bleach. And when that cream is bleaching, to bleach towards becoming like orange color. Yellow will not be like white. Compared to other bleaching cream, they have their own based artificial stance. So the best way, they say that if you want to become light, your skin will become more light. When you are eating onion and carrot can help. Because beta carotene can induce natural fearness. So we are eating beta carotene every time, which is in carrots. And that's why the name is fruit carrot, because of the compound beta carotene. And so you are maybe so if you don't laugh, if you laugh vitamin A, what will happen to you? Night blindness means what? You don't need to what? See as what? Beautiful nonsense. You just see that. Who told you that you don't really see at night? It's an exam question that they put the answer, wrong answers, you don't need to see in the night. That is the wrong answer there. The correct answer is that if somebody has night blindness, the person will not be able to see in dim light. What's the dim light? Dim light. So that is in past question. They now put you not able to see at night and option C, dim light, option B. Oh, so the answer is dim light, not. For example, now if I should close the window now, you can see, to some reason, because there are small light coming from this part. But some people cannot see that light. It look as if everywhere is dark away. So they are suffering from night blindness. So that's vitamin A. I think I'll just do that. So the next one is vitamin what? D. Vitamin D. Vitamin D is called calciferol. Calci what? And what is the function? It's for absorption of calcium in the small intestine. Calcium in the small intestine. Calcium in the small intestine. So if somebody lacks vitamin D, the body might suffer from what they call osteomalacia. Or we have what they call wicked.
George, come. Hey.
Wicked. So in osteomalacia, you see that the bones will become, the bones will become much more weak and they will begin to form curve shape. You see that some of the bone is already having his legs actually deforming. So you see that the bone, sometimes the bone can be like this. Yes, lack of vitamin D right from those early childhood. So you can see that so the bones will not have a good shape because it's wicked. So what's the meaning of vitamin D?
Can I also say it helps in creating healthy bone?
For all the
Bones. How about for teeth?
healthy bones and teeth actually. The bones and teeth actually because they have the same material. So bones and teeth actually. So for healthy bones, you can add it to yes, you can add that for healthy bones and what? Yeah. So where can we find vitamin D?
Vegetable.
I gave you one already.
Milk.
Milk.
Yes.
You can find it in food.
Sorry.
You can find it in all these bone meal. Example of the
Bone.
you know when you eat fried fish, chewing the bone is good. You can get vitamin D. Bone meal, all this biscuit bone, there's bone meal, so you can find vitamin D there. And it is like that. Yeah. So milk, bone meal, and see all the seafood. What are seafood? All these guys who eat calabar, farm food, all those things like that. So because all those seafood, all those like eating the shell, they have a lot of vitamin D. So there's a particular thing that they said in the GCE exam. They said a boy had a fracture. So when did he have the fracture? He was actually going home and he saw a dog that actually ran after the boy when he was coming back from school. So as he was trying to run and jump somewhere, he fell and he had a fracture. So what's the fracture? Anybody, what's the fracture? A fracture is when the bone
Breaks.
now you have a broken bone. I'm not doing this bone.
Humerus.
Where is it commonly found?
The thigh.
In Tom and Jerry.
Sir?
In Tom and Jerry. What's the name? Dog bone. It's actually femur. It's found in what? Femur. It's found here at the thigh. Femur. So femur is the longest and the largest in the body. So that's another past question. So if somebody has a fracture, that means the bone is broken. But if you have the bone going out of joint, we call it what? Dislocation. So the boy had a fracture. The doctor now advised the boy to be staying outside early in the morning for every sunshine and to be drinking milk. You now see, write the reason why the doctor advised this boy. That was the GCE question they gave. Vitamin C. They have smoke and fluid.
Wait, sorry. Vitamin D is also.
Vitamin, okay.
So,
Vitamin what? D? From the sun. Okay, how does it come from the sun? That is the question I want to ask. From primary school, I tell you, vitamin D is from the sun. Which type of sun? And how does it get to the
Early morning.
Eh?
You know, like that.
Any money
Any morning.
The
So
sun is
that's
not like there's no yet. What is called that thing? How's that?
it's not being clear. So, actually, the only sunshine is for the vitamin D. What about milk? And you can get what? You know, you can get calcium from milk. Usually for the vitamin D, calcium. Usually have calcium to milk. So most of the milk we take, they are fortified milk. They put them and have nutrients back in them. So, how can you get vitamin D from sunshine? You know the sunlight has 7 colors. It's 7 components. We usually call it the oil care. You don't know it. In rainbow color. It's the sunlight that you have in rainbow color now. Right, but when it is in small amounts, your skin is using it to manufacture what? Vitamin what? D. When it's large, it will affect the skin cells and what? It will cause mutation in the skin and cause skin cancer. So your body is taking small amounts, like 0 ultraviolet to manufacture vitamin D, and it's more abundant in that sunlight that appears to be like yellow in color. Not only early in the morning, sometimes during the evening when the sun is about to set, sunlight and sunset, you can get that ultraviolet much more effective. So that is why the body, someone staying under the sunshine can get vitamin D. So, but the lie they told us in primary school that one is enough for you to become tall. It's a lie. It's like buying cement without buying block. What do you need to join the cement? The block. So the block is the calcium. Why the cement is the vitamin D. Before calcium can be able to enter into your body, vitamin D must be present in your body. And where does it occur? In your small, in the small intestine. So if somebody does not have vitamin D, one can be able to enter into the small intestine and into the blood. That's the reason why, for you to be able to absorb calcium, you need vitamin D. Do you get it now? So it's the calcium that is the material that now builds the what? Bone. So if bone has been separated, go as well. New bones start forming in between it. So when they somebody has a broken bone, you know eventually that bone will become longer.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's going to.
Yeah,
you have to join together and become longer. It's not exactly the same. Because it was not formed by fusing it back, but by you can put super glue in something and see what happens. This super glue will be the new material in between it. You get it? So then the shape will never be as smooth as before again. Anybody that has broken bones, the shape will not, that part will have new bone tissue just join to fuse. It's not everything just glue. Like as you always fighting. The body transcendental. The body uses calcium to form new material to join it. But the crucial thing is that you must make sure that it's on what is aligned. So when it starts forming, it will form in an appropriate way to fuse them together. That if the bone is towards this, one is here, one is here, and that one is here. The thing will start to locate each other and join, but the joining will not be smooth. It will be solved like this. So that's why when you go to the hospital, they will put a wood here, put another wood here, and tie it. So when it is forming, it's fixed properly with each other. Do you get that? So that's it. So next one is vitamin what? E. Vitamin E is called ergosterol. So that I'll give you some of them and fill in the gap. You go and check it. So vitamin E is called ergosterol. So it's needed for fertility. So if you don't have vitamin D, it can result to infertility. What do you mean of infertility?
Not being capable of giving birth.
Infertility.
Of getting pregnant.
Is this the same thing as impotent?
Yeah?
Is this the same thing as impotent?
Let's go back.
And the cost of is it?
It's
Impotent is the what?
for
So men are the
If you don't ask questions like that.
and impotent is for men, right? And what? So impotent, what happens to the men?
They don't have enough space.
No spare count.
Someone doesn't have sperm that is impotent.
No spare count. That is not strong sperm. We don't
Someone can
know.
have sperm and is impotent.
No spare
Maybe
count.
treat the
Or
body.
Impotent. Okay.
Maybe their sperm cannot
Maybe
reach the egg.
because according to what I see, somebody can have accident now. This can become accident.
Okay. Maybe I'll leave because of reproduction. I'll answer the reproduction class. I mean, let us continue. No worries, I will not take up your time. But remember, remind you, write it down. When we are going to work, and I was saying something, someone being impotent and infertile. The two different things.
So wait, the math and infertile.
Someone can be infertile and impotent. Someone can be impotent and infertile. So there are different things. So let's continue. So I'm going to get to the introduction. So for fertility, so if somebody lacks this vitamin, can affect their fertility, whereby their eggs are not developing and relax. So if where can we find vitamin E? You can find it. You can see that it's in milk. So you can see that milk has about 3 different vitamins can give to you. That is very expensive. So most of those things that have a lot of vitamins sometimes. You can find it in milk, you can find it in egg, etc. You can check other sources. So you can write, and aside from it, you can write at least five additional sources. You can find those vitamins. Additional sources of vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. You just sent in the exam. It's called phenoquinone. Phenoquinone. It's a long name. Phenoquinone. Now, all of them are organic compounds. I see none.
Sir, you see how the K first?
So vitamin K. So vitamin K is usually required for blood clotting formation. So if someone's blood cannot clot, the person will suffer from a particular disease condition called hemophilia.
Does it also relate to hemoglobin?
I'm coming. I'm still bringing the data.
Please.
Okay. What is it? Blood clotting. I'm coming. Don't watch. Calm down. So, hemophilia. Now, you can find that in K, something like the liver, eating liver, red meat, first, that's beef. You can see it in beef. You can see it in milk. So let me now explain. What do you mean by blood? What do you mean by blood clot? What will blood clot? Blood clotting is talking about you know when you have injury, and when the injury opens up, if you don't even once you are clean the wound, you decide to dry up and form something like what a covering that seal the wound. That's what we call a clot. It's a complex process. So the complex process, if I didn't give you an assignment, go and check, write that is second assignment. Write the mechanism of blood clotting. Describe the mechanism of blood clotting. Describe the mechanism of blood clotting. Or process of blood clotting. How does it occur? It starts from when the blood is exposed to the air. The air must trigger.
If the blood clots in the brain, they can cause.
That's true. We call it cerebrovascular accident. Cerebrovascular accident.
But, sir, excess of this vitamin K, won't you be the source of blood clotting in the brain?
That's vitamin K. Now, it's only triggered by exposure of the blood. Okay. So, if some condition occurs whereby maybe the person had injury and some of the blood were exposed, and some of them now stays inside the body, they will not float out. Those ones are floats. Those are the ones that can move towards the brain. Or sometimes when the blood vessels, immediately the blood goes already undergoing a form of damage, maybe it gets to the place where there is no oxygen is not coming to it, it can start forming that cloth. So the chemical that when it's triggered, that is when, and vitamin K is not needed to make the clotting occur. Even though the vitamin K is excess, the clotting will not occur. It has to be triggered. It has to be triggered. It's just needed to trigger it. It's just like something that assists the clotting to form. It's not when it is there, it's what that will turn to clot. Vitamin K is not what turns to clot, but it's part of what will tell those things to join together and form what clots. So his own excess does not really affect. As means the one that is turning to the clot. Excess of it will not be dangerous. So if somebody has vitamin K in the body, it's just like the way catalysis. No matter how you do the reaction, the chemist not there. It does not change anything. That's how vitamin K is. Just to catalyze that clotting formation. So when somebody has a blood that has clot in the part of the body, and it can also, in terms of people having clot going to the brain, it shows that because of the fact that some blood vessels may have actually been blocked, or they are damaged, or there's a bacteria that attacks some of those blood there. So they now block some of the blood vessels. So when those blood vessels are blocked, the proper blood vessels flow to that area will not flow again. And the brain cells will now start dying. So when another brain cells die, each part of your brain has where they control. The one that's controlling your hand, controlling your leg. So if the one that's controlling your hand dies, the hand will not be able to move again. Nothing happens to the hand, but what is controlling it is not there. You get? If it's just like your computer, there's a particular software that can control maybe your mouse. Now the switch. So what happened? The mouse board is still there, but it will not function because the software to instruct it to function is not working. That is how it is. So just like the switch too, if the switch goes is faulty, what happens? The light can just remain on. So if somebody has the part of the brain damaged, why the hand is still like this? It will remain like that. The information to tell it to food. They can do that once the cell has died, except the cell regenerates back. They just try to do that means like giving anything more. But once they are dead, because you can't, it's like creating cells. So that's what happens in cerebrovascular again. So somebody has had issue with the blood vessels in the head that affect the brain. So the vitamin K, if they are not in somebody's body, you cannot trigger blood clotting. When somebody has injury, the body continues to bleed. So the clot will not be able to form. Clots are like the natural plaster that makes a wound to an injury to stop bleeding. So if they are not here, the body continues to bleed. And they call that condition of hemophilia. So some people in their gym, they cannot produce vitamin K. You don't even need to eat vitamin K before eat anything that has vitamin K before you have vitamin K. Your body can produce it. So if your gene is not properly functioning well to produce, eating it, that's the only thing that can give to you. So that kind of thing, you will add that like as a congenital disease, like from birth. So those kind of things, they add small cord, they start bleeding. So this was the first, where it was first get coded that it started. This condition hemophilia to get was in the royal family of all these Queen of England. It doesn't mean that somebody just suddenly had the disease. A queen suddenly had it. In general, we call it mutation. When the disease just appears in one person and it's now being time. So that queen now transferred to children, and those children were what? They were kings. You notice that most of those kings, they died as a result of this disease. Whereby, just small cause. So how do they kill them? It's not bad. It's not that they went down step on one small thing. During those wars or those times, they want to come and attack the palace. So they will just find a way to shoot them, something like an arrow, and start bleeding. And they can easily bleed to what? Dead in a short period of time. But normal woman that has vitamin K, once you have injury, your blood starts flowing. So within the blood flow. So lack of vitamin K is an example question they often ask. it results in what? Hemophilia. So hemo, as your according to our question, in any part of science, when you see hemo, it talks about the what? The blood. Hemoglobin, hemophilia, hematology, study of blood, you get it. So when you hemo. So hemophilia. What's the difference between hemophilia? Leukemia and anemia. Huh? I said, wait. Memory.
That is dementia.
I don't know. Dementia. All those neurons are not sending information properly. That's dementia. They're not really signaling properly. So, hemophilia, leukemia, anemia, they are often found dimensions like close to each other, but they are not the same. Leukemia now, this one is talking about, this view is talking about white blood cells. White hemo is always used for red blood cells. So leukemia talks about cancer of blood. And you know what cancer is? You know what cancer is? What's cancer? It is what's cancer. Yes, cancer. So they play like that. I'll just explain cancer to us as a layman, someone that does not know anything. Like you want to explain cancer to pepper seller, woman selling pepper. How can he tell the person what cancer, how cancer is occurring? They know the disease is killing somebody. How is cancer occurring? Maybe you are a biologist. If you have a cell now, and within 1 minute, this cell has come to 2. Within 10 minutes, this one has come to 2. Another 10 minutes, you have it as 2. In the human body, the cell is giving birth uncontrollably. Do you get it? That's what we call cancer. We call it outgrowth of cells or uncontrollable growth, multiplication of cells. So, is it normal for somebody to be giving birth? If everybody is giving birth like that, how would the world be? They are just giving birth every minute. Our cells, they divide maybe once a year, or in 6 months, maybe once. Because depends on the growth.
Sorry, how does this not affect the person?
So now, this part of the body where it is, you have plenty of genes that are already formed within few genes. So it depends on the part of the body. Some of them can be blood cells. But this one that are forming within short time, it's like building is 2-story building in 3 days. We will not collapse. So the kind of cells that is being formed, they are not healthy. They are abnormal cells. They don't look normal like normal cells. And they will also be taking nutrients from your body more than your body supply nutrients to them. So automatically, the person will be feeling pain in those regions because the cells are. The person will be feeling pain in those regions because the cells are what? They are bad. They are not good cells. So when the cells has got to the level whereby it can give birth to multiple of the cells, it's that cell that become cancer worse. But a normal cell that's not growing uncontrollably is not cancerous. So when the cells are piled up together and they are formed mass, all these together are formed mass, we call it a tumor. We say that become a tumor. It's more like the swelling effect of that cell. Some may not be tumor, but the cells will just be everywhere. Example for the blood now. If white blood cell has 2 cancers, they will just be multiplying, but to affect the blood stability, just mean that the white blood cells in the blood will not function properly because we have the abnormal ones there.
But you can beat cancer, right? You can beat cancer.
Beat in terms of what?
Yes, can beat cancer.
You can treat it. I said, is it beat you are saying?
Like you can escape.
Survive
You can
It's rare.
You can, we have different therapy for it. We have the chemotherapy, the immunotherapy. So therapy is like how to treat it. In the chemical now, they can use chemical to destroy that cell before it starts continuing to give. They just target the chemical to destroy it. You can also create a form of white blood cell and go and attack it and eat it up. Now, white blood cells usually eat things in the blood. They call it immunotherapy. You get it? We also have radiotherapy, where you go and use X-ray. X-ray that is hard. You use a target, just like a gun. You you shoot the cell.
Sir, but they say it's not
So,
everyone that does
Cancer cells are cells that have gone mad, that have entered market. So you just see them. So one of the ways to destroy the mad person is to kill the cell that don't scatter the market. So you just target the injection and shoot the cell. So they have to do that early when the cells are not metastasized. Metastasized means they are not spread all over the body. But the cancer cell will jump up and down all over the body. Anyway, they continue to give it in that part. So they always try to kill them like before they jump to different part because they are spread and they are going to different region. And anyway they get to they be taking nutrients severely from that part of the body while not doing any contribution to the body. So that's what cancer is. Cancer is cells that is what growing, dividing uncontrollably, growing uncontrollably. So since all these days now, if you want me to ask you what's cancer, one disease. One disease. So what do we need to cancer? Leukemia is cancer. Why? Anemia is what? Shortage of red blood cells. The amount of red blood cells you have is not enough in the body. Instead of you have like maybe 300 million and now having 10 million. Is that, can you compare? So that shows that the red blood cells is low. Oh, so even though you have anemia, that's why you have to go to them to collect blood in the blood hospital. When we get to some topic, I'll say better and do let us use the correct time. You don't know anemia means anything that results in shortage of the blood in the body. Leukemia, cancer of the blood. Hemophilia, when the blood cannot what? Clot. We call it hemophilia. So that's about vitamin. You have a question. That's about vitamin A, D, E, and K. So we're about to go to the water soluble now. Water soluble vitamin. No, sorry. So let's look at the water soluble. So for the water soluble, somebody said asking that vitamin A is for skin. Is that correct? Because that is not correct. The real vitamin that is for skin is vitamin C. When I was young, my grandma used to like us there. My grandma said there was no science. Say, hey, take vitamin C so that your eyes can be clear. Please, I was not leaking plenty vitamin C. Not knowing that it's a lie. Vitamin C is not for the eyes. Vitamin C is actually the one that is for skin. So if you have any injury,
But no, it helps with the immune system as well.
well, yes, it helps with the immune system. Yes. So vitamin C is actually what is for the skin. So we want to look at this vitamin B and vitamin C. Vitamin B complex is shows that vitamin B is numerous. That's why they call vitamin B complex. So we look at the ones that they are related to. So vitamin B. We have vitamin B1. We have B2. We have what? B1. B3. We have what? B5. There's no before. We have B6. We have what? B1. B12. So vitamin B1 is called thiamine. Vitamin B2 is called riboflavin. Vitamin B3 is called niacin. It's called what? Niacin. Vitamin B5 is called pyrinosine.
I have a question. That vitamin B3,
Pantothenic acid and pyrinosine. This one is pantothenic acid. What?
that B3, does it also relate to niacinamide?
What is it?
B3,
Niacinamide.
niacinamide.
Like a drug, I mean.
Yes,
Huh?
for the skin. The disease.
Yes, the content is the drug. So most of them they are because they are chemical compounds. You can do it in the laboratory and so they are often sold over the counter. Like you sell them on you get in chemist. Like you can find them over there over the counter. You can buy them in these stores. So all these are people. So like vitamin B5, which is pantothenic acid. Vitamin B6 is called pyridoxine. I'll tell you the one that I plan for your exam. They don't ask me for them. It's really the one that. Always don't forget the one that I asked for exam. For exam now, they often ask about vitamin A. You forget anything, don't forget this one. Don't forget this one. And don't forget this one. So they don't ask about vitamin E most of the time. Over the years, I've not seen vitamin E in any class. They really ask about vitamin K, A, and D. For this one, they often ask about vitamin B2, B12. They don't ask about all these B2, B12, and the ones they ask. So most of them are for cellular respiration. They help in cellular respiration. They are needed in cellular respiration.
So that's vitamin B2, we know what
Riboflavin. So you know, another middle of the mark, it means that similar things. Most of them are needed for cellular respiration. While this one is also the same thing, but for vitamin B6 for blood formation, vitamin B12 also for formation of for blood formation. For blood formation. So now, what are the deficiencies? The ones that are necessary, or is the one of this is the most important ones. Vitamin B12 usually cause lack of vitamin B2 usually is what we call berry what? This is the function. And it's always prepared in the exam. Deficiency. Berry is deficiency of vitamin B2, all this. So they call it paralysis of limbs. Paralysis of the limbs. What are the limbs?
like our hands.
What are the limbs? What are the limbs?
Our hands and our legs.
The limbs are the hands and what? Leg. What do they call the hands? Four limbs. For what? This is what the legs are the what? They are the hind limbs. The hands are the four limbs. Why the legs are the hind limbs. So vitamin B3, niacin. If somebody like this, usually causing a condition called pellagra. What? So the pellagra is in pellagra, the person who has a scaly pigmented skin. The skin will be feeling like as if it's made of layers. Huh? Some of you have asked some of it before in your palms. You just see that your palm is big. Huh? So it can be as a result of a little beginning of pellagra. Huh? Like it's just be peeling on its own, like you'll be seeing the peeling forming. Not like so. But if it gets to extreme condition, now it's just to one way of you will see the person's skin forming pigment, having color. So then the skin will also be there. So we call it pellagra. So all this one is mild anemia. The one this one is mild anemia. Mild what? Anemia. That means shortage of blood. Why B12 is what? Severe what? Severe means very extreme. Severe severe what? Anemia. So you can go and check for their sources when you get home. So you can put their sources there. So let me, so I can move to the next part so I can cover the rest of the day. So we can take another look in the next class. So what's the next thing after your vitamins? So what's the look at what? Mineral salts. What's mineral salts? So mineral salts, are we there? Is that over? Is that over? Yeah, just 1 minute. Let's. Okay, so what's mineral salts? What's mineral salts? So mineral salts are both organic and inorganic salts that are found in food substance. They are both organic and inorganic salts that are found in food substance for healthy good and healthy. Mineral salts both organic and what? Inorganic salts that are found in various sources of food. Or added to what food. You can also add them. Or added to food. So what is a mineral salt? You know what the salt is in chemistry? So a biology teacher now will think, we don't know chemistry, we think salt, maybe it's just normal salt. Salt is just talking about anything that involves metal and halogen, or metals and radicals. Metal and radicals, yes. So metals and halogen. So because if you have something like sodium chloride, sodium bromide, magnesium chloride, these things are salt. Example now, CaCO2 now is called calcium carbonate. So it is salt, you can find the food. SO4 is salt, magnesium sulfate. So example of mineral salt, magnesium sulfate, calcium, sodium, magnesium sulfate, calcium sulfate, calcium carbonate. So salt means those organic and inorganic compounds.
You can also call them table salt.
Table salt means salt you can eat. So you can also call them table salt. You are correct because you can call them table salt because it means they are healthy. That's the people. You can call them table salt. So, but this one is the table salt we usually have. But all of them they are actually table salt because they can eat it. Because what table means salt and what comes down. So they have to work on it very carefully. They are mostly abundant in plant body like fruits, vegetables. So it's commonly found in so sauce is more in fruit and what? Vegetable. Sodium chloride is a mineral salt that is added to food. You get other ones like HCO3. What do you want to tell? What's this one?
Applied to chemistry is sodium.
What is it at home? Where is it found at home? What compound is this?
I don't know.
What compound is this? Okay, this is Chinese. This is what they call baking
Soda.
soda. I was told that making powder and making soda they are different things. So someone that,
They're the same.
they are not the same. So when I was at the baker, that was when I got to know when I moved close to the baker. That's what he now told me. But is it like every time I go to market and buy baking powder and making soda, I know the same. So when you have not been close to the baker, you know. So the baker that needs to know and to have one last name. There's just small difference. There's an addition to the other place to make it baking powder. Baking soda I think is a pure. Alright. So that's what the mineral salt. Does not go for all this salt that can be found in the food. Called the mineral salt. Then the last thing. What is it? The deficiency of mineral salt. I don't think most of them have deficiency. If there's a deficiency, that means the elements that are missing. For example, now if somebody lacks iodine, because it's not eating.
What's the name of that thing?
Goiter now. The goiter can come from lack of iodine. So those elements that are in the salt are not in the body. If you lack sodium now, it can affect your mental health. You know, if you don't eat salt, your brain will not function properly again. You don't know. I'll tell you that. Because sodium is what is used by neurons in your brain, like to communicate. So that's why we put salt in our food. So if you don't eat salt for 3 months, it may affect your brain function. Your brain will not function properly again. No? Then chlorine is not there. Chlorine, sodium and chlorine are very needed. They are needed to form chlorine in for your brain to generate electricity. Our brain works by electricity. So we call it impulse in biology. So lack of sodium will affect your brain function. So people that are not eating, so that's why women cannot live without adding salt to their food. So one of the ways the body is telling you that you need your tongue will not be satisfied with that kind of food. The thing is because so that you can be sweet, so that you can also be healthy. So lack of sodium can affect brain function. Lack of iodine can cause goiter. So most of the reagents that come from mineral salt is because of the elements in those of salt. So in primary school, the decision of we just come to this thing. Mineral salt, we don't even know how to explain because most of the primary school students don't even know chemistry. So the salt is this is what they call salt in chemistry, beta and halogens and everything. So next one is rough ages. Let's know rough ages. Rough ages. So what are rough ages? So that in the last question, these are substances that makes our food bulk. Rough ages are substances that makes our food bulky. These are substances that make our food bulky. They are substances that make our food bulky. They are not right. Probably is a substance. Substances that makes our food bulky. No? They are usually indigestible. Substances. They are usually, maybe have indigestible. indigestible substances that help bowel movement. That help bowel movement. There are usually digestive substances that help bowel movement. What does that mean? You know, when the food is in your large intestines, you're moving in form of like stick together. When you want to poo, how does it come out? They call it bowel. So if those things are not inside your food that cannot be digested, your food is just like liquid and it will not be good. If not, it will not stay in your belly. You have to be running to the toilet every time to pass it out. So roughages are what keeps all those food to have a structure. After that, gotten to large intestine, they cannot die. They have to be removed from the body. It's what keeps them intact. So food that has low roughages will not make those bowel to form properly. And as a result of that, you will not start going to the toilet often. When the food now has extremely roughages, will it be good? So it will result into another thing again. Yes, when you eat plenty bread, you don't drink more water. So the one that has low roughages, example, beans. Beans has low roughages. So that people eat beans and you see that you go to toilet and move like 3 times. When you usually go just once in 24 hours, because of beans, you went 3 times. So the condition of high roughages, that results into what they call. So high amount of roughages result into high amount of roughages result into what? High amount of roughages result into what? Or can it causes what? Constipation. Causes what? Causes what? What is constipation?
When you cannot pass out.
When you cannot pass out. So when you have low roughages, what will it cause? Diarrhea. When
What they call purging.
that's diarrhea. So diarrhea, they call it diarrhea. Diarrhea is like going to the toilet. It's just going, you're just passing watery water. So because you have low roughages. So low amount of roughages causes what? It's an exam question. Please take note of this. High roughages causes constipation. Don't miss it up. They usually use to convince you in the exam. In option, they say low roughages causes dash. The answer should be what? You go to the toilet often. Diarrhea. The low roughages causes why high roughages causes constipation. Then let's wrap it up with water. So what is water? What is water?
It contains hydrogen and carbon.
So
So
water.
hydrogen and oxygen, I mean.
So water is water is the universal solvent.
They work.
Water is the universal solvent. Like it's the thing that is actually a liquid where most things can dissolve on earth. That's why water is the universal solvent. So about 70% of the human body is made up of what? Water. So for biology and in the context of substance, water is needed for most metabolic reaction. Water is needed for what? Most metabolic reaction. Water is needed for most metabolic reaction. Water is needed for most metabolic reaction. Water is needed for most metabolic reaction. So you know what metabolism is? Both breaking down and building up, which is which is called catabolism and anabolism. So example, digestion is an example of what? A catabolism, where you are breaking down food to get amino acids and glucose. So water is needed for most metabolic reaction, and without water, most cellular activities cannot occur. So water is also needed for a lot of cellular activities. So cell signaling and everything. Energy production. So that's why water is very important. It's an essential part of our food. So that's will be the end of the topic. We'll be ready to cover all. Any questions? Any questions?
No, sir.
Alright. In the absence of any question, see you next time. Sensation.
Okay, class, thank you. We appreciate Mr. Kayode. If there's any, he gave you some assignment, please do the assignment and drop the assignment on the WhatsApp group. May God be with you. Thank you.